Hey, it's Mark Zimmerman, Channel Zim, and I thought I'd share my story about when someone you're trying to purchase a property from praises Jesus and the ramifications of that. So, we get a lead on a house. It's in actually a really expensive part of town to buy in. Very expensive. A lot of old homes, and they're just selling like hotcakes and very expensive. The dirt in this part of town is very expensive. We never get leads in this part of town, but for some reason we got lead on this house that was in this part of town. So we go look at the house, but before we go, we run comps on it, and we know that yes, it's just a little, again, shotgun house, up on blocks. Had been stuccoed, believe it or not. So even from the outside, we knew that this house, in any other neighborhood, would be a maybe $30,000 offer. But we also knew in this neighborhood, it was a lot more expensive neighborhood, and people were just buying houses and tearing them down and building 3-story condos on them, So we kind of figured out the most that we could pay for this house. If I remember the numbers correctly, the most we could pay for this house was like $70,000. And we thought there was no way somebody was going to take even that for the property. But it was one of the very first houses that we ever made offers on. So we were still brand new. We were still scared to even come in with these low ball offers, even after walking people through the rehab of the property and all that was going to take to fix it up and all this other stuff. But being brand new, we were just scared. And so myself and one of my business partners, we decided we were going to go in together. We're going to support ourselves and back each other up and be there for when the homeowner freaked out from our super low offer, right? Not the way you go in to make an offer on a house, trust me, but this is one of our first ones. So we go in and we meet with the homeowner. She's this huge woman, right? Very foreboding, kind of scary in herself. And we go through the whole song and dance. We talk about what the house is worth fixed up. We talk about all the repairs it's going to take. It's going to be a huge rehab, true, lots of issues with the house, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And now is the time to step up and make it happen. So we go ahead and offer the house, offer her money for the house. And we decided that we would go lower than the $70,000 max just so we'd have a little room to negotiate because we knew we were going to have to negotiate. So I said, ma'am, the best that we're going to be able to offer with all of the issues that the house has and everything that we're going to have to do to it, the best that we're going to be able to offer is $64,000. And she jumps off the couch, stands up, and says, praise Jesus, praise Jesus. She's so happy. Nothing wrong with praising Jesus. I love him too. But you don't want the person that you just made an offer on a property on to praise Jesus, because that means you paid way too much for the property. So I always think back about that little story that maybe you really need to, let people tell you what they want for the property, what they think is fair for the property, and what they're expecting it from the property way before you ever make an offer. He who speaks first loses in negotiation, especially when you're buying distressed property to buy, fix up, and sell. That is absolutely the case. And we were so scared and we were so new, we didn't know that. We didn't follow that guideline, and we ended up paying way too much for the house. Now, what's interesting is I was able to sell it as is, I think, for 80-something to a guy that then took that house. He probably put about 20 into it. Now he's about 100 in, and he ends up selling it for like $129,900, completely fixed up, this little shootbox house. And the person that bought it for $129,900 ended up leveling the house, scraping the lot, and building this huge 3-story condo on it. And I always think back, man, I wish I could have gotten to the guy that was willing to pay $129,900 for the house that I paid $64,000 for. But that happens. We still made some money on it. But anyway, funny story. Make sure that you always find out what the person thinks is a fair price or what they're looking to get out of it ever before you start throwing out prices, because they may praise Jesus. Anyway, Mark Zimmerman, I'm out.